What's up, everyone? We are back for chapter 65 of the Shiunji Family. And yeah, I mean, this chapter was crazy. It was a little more insane than I thought it would be. There was some stuff that I was kind of expecting to be the case, but other things I just was completely dumbfounded on. But yeah, without further ado, let's just hop straight into it. In this chapter, we got to see what actually kind of went down to the events leading up to Minami and Shion's birth and their mother as a character, who's also their maid. This chapter, probably one of the biggest lore drops that we've gotten throughout this entire series. It is very text heavy. I'm not gonna read every single text. I'll put panels on the screen, but yeah, definitely go and read it if you haven't already, because I'm just gonna be kind of saying what I think about the things that went on, right? But basically, Shion and Minami's mom got pregnant when she was 24 with this other guy, that creepy old guy from the last few chapters, and apparently they worked together. But he straight up abandoned her once she found out that she was pregnant. She was really just struggling as a single mother. She says some kind of dark things, saying that she was never really fond of kids and that they were always on the verge of dying. And yeah, it's really just a tough situation to see, right? She really wasn't prepared for what she got put into, and then she has no support system because her family is just not around. She has a really tragic backstory, right? Like, her parents go and die when she was just a child, and because she had no one to turn to, she couldn't really provide for the kids, right? And because this happened, the government stepped in and wanted her kids to go to an adoption facility, and of course she wants the best life for her kids. So she does not offer them up, that's not the right word, but she does let them take in the children. But yeah, to add here, we also get a little backstory on why their names are Minami and Shion. And basically it's because I would assume the nurses that were there while she was giving birth at the hospital, they gave her some flowers, and those were the names of the flowers. So that's kind of how their names came to be. I mean, it is really just like a tragic scene to see, but I do like how the author is writing the Shiunji family. It is kind of like super harem slop, and then we get into like these more deeper, darker moments. And I really do enjoy the contrast. It's just some of the topics are just a little more serious than others. But yeah, also, why does she kind of look like Chizuru? Okay, I'm not, whatever. But yeah, some time passes, and as the days go on, she's just starting to kind of think about her life and what's been going on. Did she do the right thing on sending her kids to the adoption facility? And you know, it's really just a war inside her head right now. Eventually we cut to like a year and a half later, and she's meeting up with a friend from college. And who is this friend? It is Chihiro Shiunji, right? This is the mother of the Shiunji family. She is gone. She's out of the picture. But you know, this was before all of that happened. And basically all they're doing is they're meeting up with each other. But to our surprise, we see none other than Minami and Shion sitting in strollers, right? So, I mean, who could have guessed the Shiunji family goes and adopts the two kids? And this is where Kyoko, who is the maid, that's her name, starts to get very emotional while she's just catching up with her friend. Her friend doesn't know anything about this. Chihiro Shiunji, she doesn't know that these are her kids, but essentially she's just trying to hold in her feelings right now. And one important thing to note is that while Kyoko was handing off her kids for adoption, Minami goes and grabs like a button from her shirt and like grips onto it and takes it with her. And why is this important? Well, this is important because of what happens next, right? When Kyoko goes and tries to put on a brave face and tries to interact with the kids, she sees that Minami is holding onto that same button. And we get a little backstory from Chihiro Shiunji saying that children are so strange, aren't they? For some reason, she just doesn't ever let go of that button. And after she goes and says this, Kyoko just ends up breaking out. She just loses control of her emotions and just runs out. And yeah, it's a very emotionally pulling scene. When I first read this chapter, I was not expecting anything this crazy. And honestly, I just wasn't really expecting anything like this from this type of series. But I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It really does show a change of pace from the author's previous work. Or, you know, if you know, you know. Rent-A-Girlfriend is not the best series ever, but he can write a good story. And I think this is, you know, proof that we're going to take this series in a good direction. I don't think it's just gonna stay as like super funny romance slop. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. But to me, this is just a good sign for the series in the future. But yeah, after some time after this whole incident went down, she got a request from the parents who adopted Minami and Shion for like a face-to-face meeting, right? Because at this point, the Shiunji family kind of pieced together what was going on. And after this incident that happened, Kyoko, you know, she really does want to see her children again, even if she might be a bother or something like that. And yeah, we just cut to them meeting together, right? We cut to the Shiunji family meeting with Kyoko. And basically in this meetup, we first go through like a little rundown of what happened in that incident prior. And Chihiro is saying that at the adoption facility, whenever it's like a worker would try to take the button from Minami, she would just start crying. And basically they're just saying that in the last half year, she just hasn't even let go of the button. Kyoko goes and gets emotional again, but this time she is begging to stay with the children, right? You know, that was kind of her whole thing of not getting rid of is not the right term, but for letting go of her kids. Her reasoning was that she just can't provide for them and she can't be with them at the same time. So it would just be for the best. But here she's trying to put her foot in the door and saying that she'll do anything. She'll do chores, housework. And yeah, this is kind of the full circle moment of how Kyoko, the maid, has been integrated into the Shiunji family. You know, Kaname Shiunji, he's saying we're actually in the process of finding a babysitter for all of the kids. And he's also saying that we already have 4 children in the house and he doesn't want her showing any favoritism towards any of them. On top of this, he's also saying that she must never say that she is their actual mother. It is a very tough decision for Kyoko in this moment, but she knows the decision that she has to make here. It's a very, very tragic thing, right? She just doesn't have any support system, no family members. Her partner went and left her, and it's just a very, very sad thing to see. So this is kind of her last glimpse of hope. And yeah, luckily she does get the position as their kind of housemaid. And she goes and says, I can do anything so long as I can be with them. And yeah, I mean, that's basically the chapter. We do have one last monologue from Kyoko, basically just kind of like a heartwarming, heartfelt like speech to herself. But she's also recognizing how nice the Shiunji family are and how generous they are to her. And yeah, that's basically the chapter. We end the last page with Minami just staring up into the sky. I don't know. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a chapter after this where we get Kyoko actually answering and like actually confronting Minami and Shion. Like, I don't know if that's gonna be a whole chapter. If I had to assume, I think it's probably gonna be like next chapter, we're gonna get maybe like 3-4 pages of it, and then we're just gonna move on with the story. Actually, no, that's not what's gonna happen, because off last chapter, that creepy old dude, right? Who is Minami and Shion's biological father. He said that he wanted to meet with Kaname Shiunji. So, who knows? Probably a lot more drama is gonna go down. And as I'm looking more into the last chapter, I do see that it does say the 4th daughter, unaware of her roots, what is she feeling, right? So it does look like she does not know anything that's going on right now. And we're gonna get hopefully a crazy chapter next week or whenever it drops, right? Going into this chapter, I definitely didn't expect this. I thought we were gonna get a lot more of an evil side to like the Shiunji family in particular, because their biological father, Minami and Shion's biological father, was acting kind of like wishy-washy a little bit. So I wasn't entirely sure that he was going to be the bad guy, but that is looking to be the case, right? There was something else I wanted to mention here. Oh yeah, okay. So I also thought an interesting like direction that the story might have gone in was where the Shiunji family was evil, right? And then, or not evil, because that's like a crazy word, but like maybe they had something against Kyoko, like maybe some like blackmail type situation. But yeah, that doesn't look to be the case. That would have stirred up a lot more drama into the series and taken it in a whole different direction. I don't think it would have been bad, but this is the way that the story is going now, is keeping it more streamlined, but still deviating a little bit from how it was in the past 63 chapters. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what goes on with the Shiunji family moving forward. It is starting to become one of my more favorite series that I'm reading. And yeah, I mean, I'm sorry guys for a break.